We are assembling the school pop-up cards. I'm going to move these pieces out of my way for a minute. And I'm going to pull the base in. So there's 3 different versions. There's a bookworm, a wise owl, and an apple. I've already glued my panels onto my base pieces. Then I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to fold this on these score lines. I always prepare my base first so that it has time to dry before I start assembling the pieces into it. So you've got this little 1/4 inch space here we created by gluing, and by folding, and we're gonna glue these down inside. So you just want to apply glue here on the space and hold it down. Your paper should be a little bit thick. You want to use a good solid paper for your base, at least 80 weight. And so to get these to glue down, you just have to hold those a few seconds longer. Okay, so that's how you prep your base. Now I'm gonna pull in my pieces here. So these are all doubled. I've already glued them together and had them drying under my mat. Okay, so let's just start with the back piece. I've tried to make the assembly of this as easy as possible. You're just going to center this right in there. See, you just want a nice even border all the way around. So in your card, that will be the back piece. Okay, I have gluey fingers and all the glue is rolling off. Okay, the front piece is the 1, 2, 3. You're just going to center these with each space. If you don't have nails, you may want to use tweezers. Okay, and this is the front. So I've got 3 of those and set those aside. Now I'm going to pull in my apple. Well, let's trade these out here. So your book pieces have the spine for the color of your stripes. Now if you want it to be whatever color you make your base. You could just let that color show through. That is the color of whatever color this base piece is the color of your top book. So I'm going to start at the bottom with mine. Now I've talked before about these pop-up cards and how in like the first 1.5 to 2 inches, you don't want to use any foam tape because this actually slides down inside the card. And so if you had foam tape in here, it would really affect the closing of your card. Okay, just like that. Now for the apple. So your characters that are sitting on top of your books, if you want to add a piece of foam tape behind them, you could. I think they're high enough up. I'm just gonna fold this just a little. And I think that I will grab my phone. I think I will pop up my characters there. Looks like I only need 2. There is the apple card, the apple center. There we go. Now for the owl. So you can see there's nothing too difficult in putting your pieces together here. I think if you used, I won't say classic colors, like if, you know, browns and blacks for your books and not so many primary colors, you can make it look older. Same with your pieces on your base. So there is that base piece. I'm going to pull my owl in. So the first piece you want to put on the owl is the center to his body. You just want to line that right up to the bottom here. And then you want to put on his face. So for the glasses, it will help to have some kind of fine tip on your glue, or this would be a good piece for a Xyron tape. You just want to glue this right in place. So there is circles for the back of the eyes, but I'm not going to use them. They're there in case you want to use them. But I'm not going to like pop up his eyeballs or anything like that, so I'm not going to use them. But they are there if you want to. And then just decide where you want the eyes to be. And I think that I am going to pop the glasses up. And if you've watched some of my other videos before, you know I get these foam squares from Dollar Tree. And now they carry Velcro, which is really nice. That's another thing that for us crafters was not in a reasonable quantity. And then if it wasn't a reasonable quantity, something that was not too expensive. There we go. Then he's got a little beak, so I'm just going to put my dot here for my beak. Slide this on up in here. There we go. And then you can put his little feet right on the bottom. I'm just kind of putting the glue like on the top half because I am having the feet hang over just a little. Hopefully, having 2 layers of dimension is not going to affect my card opening and closing. You do have to be careful with the pop-ups with that. And then we're just going to line them up right in place. There we are. And there's the owl. And now the bookworm. So I'm going to start by putting the cover of my book on. You're going to line it up to the bottom of your book. And then your spine. go ahead and get these in place. Okay. I think I'm gonna glue his body down and then pop his head. And maybe his book. And I need to cut this in half so that it doesn't go over the edge. Let's see, where do I want the book? Yep. Put that right there. There we are. I'll just go ahead and put that there. Set that aside. Now let's work on his eyes. The same holds true for the eyes on your worm. If you want the whites to the back of the eyes, they are included. But if you use the whites on the back of the glasses, you don't need it. Just going to put glue here from the center out about halfway. I decided not to pop his eyes because I am going to pop his head. And there is our bookworm. Okay, now, so this one's for my apple. So when you're looking at your base, you have one piece that has a slit here in the center. This is for your centerpiece. This one does not have a tab. It glues in differently. So that one is the center. So this also indicates that this is the top of your card. So we put that in. Our 1, 2, 3 goes in the front. And then here in the back is our ABC. Okay. So then I'm just going to move these out of my way. I'm going to lay those just like that. And I'm going to start here at the back. And I'm going to slide this through to the slit on the bottom. And flip this over. Make sure I have this straight. I'm looking to see my score line here. I'm going to fold that up and glue it into place. Okay, turn it back over, and then we're going to go in the order that they're laid out, and again slide that through to the bottom. It's not wanting to slide in. There we go. Then flip it over, fold our tab up, and glue it to the bottom of the card. Flip it back over. Now we're going to slide this in. And I realize it's harder to see when it's all the same color. So you can see here I've got my tab. Pull that down, and I am only going to apply glue, hopefully I don't get it on my other piece here, to the bottom part of this tab, just like that. I'm going to fold this up and glue this just to the center piece. Just holding it, make sure the glue sticks. Now when I push this up, you see that this top piece is not going up with it. The way that you make that happen is you're going to lift this tab and you're going to glue this tab just to the center, in this case the apple, just to this apple, just like that. Now when I push up, you see that it all lifts. Okay, now for this side, you're going to leave this tab down, and we're going to fold this tab up. Then we're going to glue these tabs together. So I'll lift this up so you can see. I'm just going to apply glue just to the tabs. You don't want to get so much glue that it seeps through and glues anything else together but the tabs. Okay, then we're going to sandwich this together and glue them together. Okay, then I always like to check, make sure everything lifts the way it's supposed to. You can see this here is why we watch the foam tape. You don't want too much foam tape down in here. We've got our pieces glued to the bottom. We've got our tabs glued together. It's all lifting. If you notice, when you do this, if you notice that this piece here is not lifting, you probably have not glued it to your center piece. Okay. Then I'm going to apply glue here to the tab and close it up. And there is the apple, the school apple box card. And you will assemble your owl and your worm the same way. Thank you for joining me.